out for a daily walk. And one of the things we covered in Lohan class last night that applies to basically every martial art I've studied, at least, is the difference between verticality in the body and straight in the body. And it's really apparent in some arts and not so much in others. But what I'm defining as vertical, or verticality, to use my Kung Fu brother Kevin's word, is the line between heaven and earth. That's a vertical line. That's meant to be straight up and down, how we think. But the line in the body means the alignment of the skeleton. Okay? So normally in something like Tai Chi, you'd find vertical and straight would be the same thing, right? You're supposed to have this posture as though something is pulling on the top of your head, and it's supposed to be dropping your tailbone down between your heels, and that gives you this vertical line all the way through the spine, blah, 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 right? And it deals with the weight of your body against gravity, and that gives you both straight. So the skeleton is straight to deal with force, and it gives you vertical. Now, the thing is that those don't always work together that way. They're not mutually exclusive. You don't have to have them both at once. So like in 18 Lohan Palm, you see movements where a person will lean forward or backward. And the idea there is that the straightness of the body remains. And the straightness is the line from the heel to the top of the head. That's what we're trying to accomplish. We're trying to keep that line straight. So that means that there's a lot of extension throughout the legs, a lot of extension throughout the neck and the back, so that no matter how much tipping one does back and forth, this straight line remains. The vertical, of course, never changes, because vertical between heaven and earth is the way it is. And being able to have verticality in the body means lining up my body in such a way that I can deal with the force of gravity, and in that way, the force of other people touching me in relationship to my body, right? So that I'm not using any extra muscle than I have to. So take something really extreme like drunken boxing. When you do something like bending your back way over, and drunkard lifts the barrel or drunkard rolls the barrel, you completely lose straight, right? Because you're curved now. But verticality has to be maintained. So for instance, when I've done demonstrations of people standing on my chest when I'm doing that leaned over backwards posture, the only reason I can do it is that I understand what verticality means. So what I'm doing is I'm pushing my heart upwards towards heaven, and I'm pushing my heels downwards towards the earth. And by doing those two things at once and keeping them in a line, meaning over one another, I can maintain verticality even if I'm not straight. So you can see this all through all these different arts, right? Tai Chi has stuff like the planting punch, or the punch to hit the ground, where they're bending forward, but they're still maintaining straight. And there's actually still verticality in there if you really work it and you know what's up. So since I'm sharing a bunch of this stuff on Lohan and heavy hands and all these other things, I thought it might be something useful to define for people, because it's just one of those things that I end up talking about in class over and over. And I don't really share it online, so I thought I'd share. Keep training.